should be good now. All right, there we go. Awesome. All right, so a couple announcements tonight. So first one is we've got an FPA event that's available to everybody tomorrow. So this one should be a great one. It's actually run by Brittany Castro, who I think is going to be coming on the podcast here in a couple weeks. But Brittany is an expert at leveraging social media and finding new clients online. So she's speaking to the entire Financial Planning Association of Michigan tomorrow on how to leverage social media and build their client base. So this is an awesome opportunity for us students to hear about that, because that's something that all of us future advisors are going to need to do. A lot of people out there you're going to learn are building their book of business exclusively through social media. I know I've talked to a few people who found all these great clients, so just exclusively through different things on social media. So definitely a great event. If you guys are interested, it's tomorrow from 2 to 3 p.m. You can email Mary. You guys, we've done this before, but you can email Mary at info@fpami.com, and she'll tell you how to get access to that event. So next one I have here, first I just wanted to give a shout out to all the members out there who have gotten positions recently. I've seen it on LinkedIn. I know a few people we've had conversations. So congratulations if you've gotten a position lately. And beyond that, I just wanted to say we're still here to help, guys. So if you guys are still in the job search, we still offer our resume edits. You can click the link on our website, or you're more than welcome to just shoot any of us a resume, and we're more than here to help. And beyond that, for general career planning advice, I know I've spoken to a few people one-on-one and a few other of our e-board members as well. So just know that never stops. We'll remind you guys every once in a while, but if you ever have any questions about negotiating an offer or what you should do, feel free. We're always here. So last announcement here is our social media giveaway. So we've kicked that off. We kicked that off a few weeks ago, but today we had an official post about it, and I was checking it before the meeting. We've had a ton of great engagement. So thank you to all who've commented and shared. What you need to do is just go look on our Instagram post, like it says there, comment and tag 3 friends, share it on your story, and you'll be entered to win a gift card and a WMA mask. So great opportunity there, guys. I think what we're going to do too is to incentivize everybody to do it a little more. So that is going to be the prize to the winner. Anybody who doesn't get the mask and doesn't get the gift card, we will send you guys a WMA sticker as well. I don't have any in front of me, but we've got a few stickers that we're going to send out to anybody who enters but doesn't actually win the mask. So with that, I'm going to kick it over to Vincent, who's going to talk about our Spartan Journal news stories for this week.
Awesome. Thanks, Justin. So my story that I did is pretty much explaining how the U.S. economy is definitely improving. Activity's picking up, but in the meantime, Europe's is not doing as well. Europe's economy has been brought down by an increased amount of coronavirus cases, which has led to more restrictions, which in turn has increased their economic activity. So the sales of homes have rose 9.4% in the U.S. in September, which was a 14-year high, and jobless benefits fell to the lowest level since the start of COVID-19. So definitely seeing some progress there. And it's also notable to mention that it's grown at the fastest pace, the U.S. economy, that is, it's grown at the fastest pace in more than a year and a half as businesses expect increased demand. And like I said before, so Europe has been experiencing a large surge of coronavirus cases recently, which has slowed down a lot of business and economic activity. Economists expect the U.S. To grow at a 28.5% annualized rate in the third quarter. And third quarter earnings figures will be released this Thursday. So in 2 days, we'll get those results. And purchasing managers index declined in Europe, and service firms both rose in October from September in the U.S., according to IHS Markit. So it's definitely good to see the U.S.'s progress in the economy, and hopefully we'll see Europe's economy increase as well. And I'm going to pass it on to Jake.
Thanks, Vincent. So I did my story on Uber and Lyft. So recently, a court in California ruled that Uber and Lyft have to comply with regulations that classify the drivers, which were previously considered as independent contractors, have to be classified as employees, which means they have to set certain schedules and have to be paid healthcare and benefits like that. So this could possibly put hundreds of thousands of drivers out of work in California because they'll have to up their prices and they can't hire as many employees because of it. Um, so this could definitely topple the company's business model. And so because of this, the companies along with DoorDash, Postmates, and Instacart have raised more than $189 million in ballot initiative in California, asking people to vote for yes on Prop 22, which guarantees new protections for the workers and allows them to be considered independent contractors. They also get healthcare benefits and also accident insurance coverage while on the job if you work more than 15 hours. So yeah, so it doesn't really apply to us because we are in Michigan, but it could be on the ballot here in our state eventually. So yep. So now I'll pass it on to Oscar.
All right. Hello, everybody. I want to apologize for my haircut looking kind of scudded right now, but I'm going to get it done regardless. So one thing I'm very excited about right now, kind of switched it up. I usually write about the market of the government, but GM is doing something crazy. So their production is going all in on all electric. They had a facility in Hamtramck, the Hamtramck, Detroit area, if you're familiar with that area, that was deemed to close. It was actually due to COVID, low numbers of people purchasing vehicles from GM from local distributors, and the numbers were down, so they're about to close that facility. But now it's being repurposed and renamed Factory Zero. Kind of to be, the connotation is zero, meaning zero emission, ground zero. This is the first facility of its kind. A lot of major changes are going on right now. So by 2030, they want to have all production in those facilities to be fully electric vehicles. This is coming after large legislation push in California, where there's going to be a ban of combustible vehicles in that state, probably by 2035 or 2040. I forget what year it was. But GM is kind of getting on that track right now, where they were losing money in the combustible space. Now they want to move to electric. And along with this, they're going to take a lot of their facilities and transition them to use mostly stormwater, 100% stormwater by 2040, and all facilities to run off renewable energy, so solar, wind, hydro by 2040 as well. Just look to the auto industry to see a lot of changes. So this is bringing, like, of course, a lot of new life, and this is going to mean a lot for Detroit. The area in general has seen a lot of decline from the boom of the manufacturing era. But you could see a resurgence with a market that's dominated by the big three and GM. So be very excited to see that and pay attention to that, because this is going on in our own backyard.
So yeah, for this section, I did mine on emergency funds and how we can grow ours to meet our needs. So this graph shows that 59% of adults can't pay for a $1,000 emergency expense through their savings account. They either have to pay through a credit card or borrow money from somebody else. And so most financial experts recommend that you have somewhere between 3 to 6 months of like basic living expenses in your emergency fund. And this is for more like employees because we're in college right now, but this can seem daunting if you put away a couple thousand. But if you keep putting away a small amount every couple weeks, you can reach your goal eventually. And so this is considered more if you have like an illness or an accident, or you lose your job, or you need to repair your car or your house. And so it's recommended that you put your emergency money into an interest earning account or a money market account, which can be easily accessible without taxes or penalties. And yeah, you want to avoid CDs or IRAs, which do give out penalties if you withdraw early. So now I'll pass it back on to Justin.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much, guys. That was great. So that's all we've got today. I see Nick. We're going to pass it on to you at Securian Financial. Thank you for joining us today.
Okay, and I'm just supposed to give like a State of the Union kind of thing, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, absolutely.
Cool. All right. So, yeah, I thought I'd talk to you guys today about the pitfalls that you can fall into coming into the finance industry, especially as young kids out of college. There are a lot of places that are looking to take advantage of you. So, and I'll name names because I don't care. So like your big insurance carriers like Mass Mutual, New York Life, Northwestern's probably the worst. And then like your wirehouses, like your Schwabs, your Merrills, your Raymonds, your Wells Fargo, all those places. What their MO is to bring in college grads and career changers. They train them to the absolute bare minimum. They tell you, go out to your aunts, your uncles, your cousins, your mom and your dad and bring them in. We're going to give you a tiny little portion of whatever commission they make. Meanwhile, Mr. Experienced Advisor that you have to meet with steals most of the commission on this, even if it's your mom's case. Then about a year later, when you realize you can no longer sustain yourself on your aunts and uncles and cousins because Mr. Experienced Advisor has been taking all your commission, you'll get a pink slip in the mail and they'll tell you to clean out your desk and make room for the next college kid or career changer to come in and do the exact same thing. Meanwhile, Mr. Experienced Advisor keeps all the ongoing commission on everything that you brought in. So at that point, you're really not the employee, you're the client, you're the customer. It's a pyramid scheme in my eyes. It's Cutco knives. You're bringing in your relatives for somebody else to take advantage of. And that is about probably 80 to 90% of the finance industry or places like that looking to basically poach the networks of you guys coming out of college. I think it's criminal, but what am I going to do? So, but here's the thing to look out for, because another pitfall that you guys could fall into is all these places that are going to be saying, come here, we're going to reach your goals, we're going to make you the best financial advisor ever, blah, 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 blah. Those are the places that are most likely to be taking advantage of you. And the places that are going to be like, I'm not sure if I want to bring in a new guy, especially coming right out of college. It's such a pain to train these people. Those are the places that actually know how to train people and that will train people. The people that are more averse to it are the ones where you're going to be really wanting to get in there. The ones that are like, come on, come in, we're going to make you the best. Those are the places that are most likely to take advantage of you. And so what do I look for when I'm looking for, a new advisor, especially somebody coming straight out of college? Because it's pretty rare that we hire somebody straight out of college unless I absolutely believe that you can make it, that you either have the network or the gumption to create a network. I look for, are you going to be a good locker room guy? I do not want any cancers in my locker room. I want people who are going to build each other up, who are going to help each other out. I have a very familial atmosphere at my firm that I try very hard to protect. I'm the recruiting director, so I'm on the front lines of protecting that. So if you are going to be a good locker room guy, that means that you're going to take direction well. Are you going to be coachable? Are you going to listen to the people who are experienced? And then when you are experienced, when you are that financial advisor, are you the type who's going to slam the door behind you, or are you going to turn around and help the next crop of people up? I want somebody who's going to be helping the next crop of people up. And then, so I look for, the last thing I look for is somebody who's a servant. I want you to be a servant to your clients. I want you to be a servant to your family. I want you to be a servant to your own goals and aspiration. And then, do you have leadership potential? We have a true blue servant leader in our ranks. Our boss is a servant first and a leader second. She thinks of everybody who works for her as her boss, not the other way around. And that is a zeitgeist that carries throughout the entire firm. So I look for servants with leadership potential, because anybody I hire, I got two goals for them. I want you to either retire with me, or I want you to go out and start your own firm and be your own boss. That's what I look for. Do you have that leadership potential? I ask people when I hire them, tell me about your leadership experience and start in middle school. I want to hear about when you were the captain of your t-ball team. I want to hear about when you were the captain of your football team or soccer team or baseball team. That's all relevant things. That means you are somebody that people will follow, and you cannot be a successful financial advisor if no one will follow you. So unless you guys have any questions, that's pretty much my spiel.
I guess I could speak a little bit too. I worked for Nick this past summer at Securian Financial Advisors, and I got to work under an advisor who was the investment specialist, and I had really good experience working for her. I got to see behind the scenes like what they do, sit in a few meetings, so it was good experience working for them. And aren't you guys hiring for over winter and next summer currently?
Hiring interns?
Or interviewing?
I mean, I'm always interviewing talented people. I kiss a lot of frogs. You people doesn't mean that you'll have the job, or we don't mass hire. So but yeah, I'll interview people all the time. But it's definitely something where if I don't think that you could hack it in this, I'll tell you straight up. I'll tell you don't have the market. I don't like your attitude. You're too ugly. I'll let you know. I won't say that, but I'll let you know if you're going to make it in this racket. You have to have a market or a way to cultivate it or the will to cultivate it. We've offered Claire a job because she has the will to cultivate it. She is a Gen Z who's not afraid of the phone, and that is very rare to find. So that's the kind of, if you're wondering who's the type of people we hire, just look at Claire.
Nick, would you say that Claire was a good locker room guy?
Claire's a great locker room guy, absolutely.
Love it.
She slapped me on the ass with a towel a little too much, but other than that, it's pretty good. Anything else?
Nick, so you were talking about like what you look for in advisors. What do you guys look for clients? Is there a specific kind of client you guys try to target?
Pretty much the same thing. Are you coachable? Are you I can't help anybody who doesn't want to be helped. I mean, I can come to people with the best plan of all time, but if they don't trust me, if I don't have a way to get them to trust me, then it's all for naught. And they're not going to trust me if I don't trust them, because if I don't trust them, I'm not going to act real trustworthy to them. So it's a two-way street, definitely. But no, nobody has to be my client. I don't need anybody to be my client. So if I feel like a client's going to detract from my quality of life, I have no problem firing them or handing them off to somebody else.
So how many clients, if you don't mind me asking, how many clients did each advisor at your firm? Is it like 10 to 20? How many on average?
Positions been that longer. Somebody have a question? Uh-oh.
Yep. Sorry, I think a couple of us might have been talking at the same time.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah. My question was, so how many clients do you each as an advisor have? 5, 20, 50? How many on average?
I mean, I have like, I don't know, Claire, you saw half my book, like maybe like 120 or something like that.
Yeah, I would say that's pretty accurate.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, the quantity is not better than quality. So, I mean, when you're young and you're first starting out and all you're writing is, little life insurance policies because your buddy just knocked somebody up or got pregnant or something, and you gotta have life insurance for that. That's kind of the, you'll start off small. You'll start off with doing Roth IRAs for people, or switching over, your parents' old 401k or something like that. You'll start small, and then people will see you start to have success, and then they'll be like, "Oh, I see that person has some success. I'm going to get in on that. They're got a nice new suit, nice new car. They're doing it well. They're obviously doing something right, and people are coming to them. So why should not?" It's the craziest thing, but success breeds success in this game. It's a snowball. Anything else? All right. Well,
I mean, I could ask you questions all day, but nobody
hit
wants
me,
to hear
man.
me.
Yeah, you will get honest answers from me. It's late at night, so I'm off the clock. So
So where are you guys based? I don't know if we've touched on that. And like where, if you were to start a career at Securian, where are you guys looking for clients? In Lansing and Michigan?
All over Michigan. I mean, I have licensing in Michigan, Indiana, Ohio, Florida, South Carolina, and New Mexico, just because I've had clients all over the place. And it's super easy to get. Once you have your 7 and 66 and life and health and all that, it's all downhill from there. You just basically go online. If you have clients in another state, but you want to live in another different state, you just go online, enter, pay $50 or whatever to get that licensing. It's easy to have international clients, but we're based out of our kind of home office is in Lansing and Okemos. Kind of right behind the Jimmy John's in that little park over there, that business park off the highway. And then you're looking at the Grand Rapids office. I'm in the market for one right now. I'm looking for a space in Grand Rapids because right now, every place I go, my realtor keeps saying, these guys are going fully remote. These guys are going fully remote. Everyone's leaving their furniture because everyone's just pulling out of commercial real estate. So I figure at the turn of this year, there will be a lot of people not re-upping their leases, which will cause an influx of available property, which will drive down prices. And then I'm not going to get stuck in a 2019, 2020 7-year lease. I'll be stuck in it, or I'll be, in a lower 2021 market. But I'm looking for a spot that's going to be open. That's going to be, I love the industrial feel I can hear, just like open ductwork and stuff. It's going to be tall ceilings. I want to put a basketball hoop, beer keg, the foosball tables, maybe a heavy bag. It's going to be a dope place. The Okemos one is much more Class A space, we'll say.
So what do you think moving forward then? Like, it's strange. Every week we're online for another week. Do you think that you're going to continue to meet with clients in person then? It sounds like you're planning on that.
Absolutely. I love this, man. I wake up in sweatpants most days and just Zoom people on the interviews. Like, this is what I wore all day today. I love this. I am keeping this for as long as they'll let me.
So we do have a lot of freshmen in WMA. So if you were to give advice to someone who's just starting out, college and hasn't really, well, obviously they've gotten somewhat involved by being in the club, but like what advice would you have for someone who's thinking about like going into the industry?
Great question. Take some communications classes. Take some interpersonal communications classes. It is so much easier to teach a communications major how to do finance than it is a finance major how to have a personality. Full stop. And then get involved in stuff, I suppose, too.
Oh yeah, just maybe.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's always good to get involved in stuff just because this career, it's all about who you know. So, I was on the wakeboard team with a lot of people who, they come from money just because wakeboarding is an expensive sport. So that's, I've gotten to know people through that. But, it's always a good thing the more people you know, always. And start to realize that if people think that now, they're going to think you're a shithead later. So if you're being just dumb all the time, being a drunk, being not a respectable person, people remember that. They'll log that in their heads. So be the kind of person that you want to be as often as you can.
That's good advice. Thank you.
Was that all for all the questions you guys had?
Anyone else? Shout them out.
All righty. Well, I'm going to hop off. It was lovely to see you all. Claire, I hope you decide to come with us. All right. Y'all take care.
Yeah, I think the interview's next week. So.
All right. Let's go. We need you. I need somebody calling in on my book of business, dude. I'm not going to do it.
Oh, yeah. As long as I'm getting commission.
Absolutely. You'd be a full-fledged advisor. And that's the thing. With our advisors, you're not some junior advisor coming in, getting all your commissions stolen. Once you're suited up, you got your 766 life and health variable products, which takes a couple months to do. You're an advisor. You are my equal. You are my contemporary. If I split commissions with you, if we do an equal amount of work, we will split it equally. So that's kind of another thing for young people. We invest in you. Well, we pay for all your study books. We pay for your online material. We pay for the Kaplan study question bank, which is more expensive because I've tried them all. I tried all the different studying ones. Kaplan with the question bank gave me the best chance to succeed. It's the most expensive, but that's how we invest in our people. We invest with bonus payment instead of a pseudo salary like a lot of the other guys have. We invest with, if you've been with us a year, we'll pay for your CFP, which is like the MBA of the finance world. So we invest in our young people, which is what you got to do to build a strong foundation.
Nick, if someone wanted to send their resume to you because they're really interested now that you've talked to everyone, should they send it to your email, or is there applications like on the website? How should they contact you or go about doing that?
Email me would probably be the best.
Okay.
Yeah, if you guys have like a board or something, you can post my number to
If you just want to drop it in the chat right now, I think that would be perfect.
Sure can. All right.
Thank you.
Big locker room guy, huh, Oscar?
I think Oscar's a big locker room guy.
Yeah. And pretty good. All right, there you go, friends.
All right, thank you so much.
Yeah, hope you learned something. I'll see you guys later.
Thanks,
Definitely
Nick.
see you.
Thank you.
Awesome. Well, that's all we got for you guys. We promised you that we would be giving you a variety of speakers. So there you go. If anybody has any questions, like Claire said, does anybody have any questions for Claire about our internship or anything? Or
Yeah, so obviously you guys can tell Nick is a pretty vibrant person. It's a very chill environment. I was working there over the summer. There was like Bud Light stocked in the fridge 24/7, so you could just casually, they said you could drink after noon, but it was very, very lax. I'd say very friendly family environment. Everyone there was really cool. I didn't really do a lot of like financial advising work. Obviously, I didn't have my licensing, but I scheduled appointments. It was a lot of phone work, which is what they were impressed with, is that they gave me a whole book of business to call and schedule appointments with, and they expected this to take me the whole summer. And I spent 4 hours my first day, and I called the entire list and scheduled 15 appointments. And then I had people calling me for 4 days afterwards, rescheduling appointments. And so then I ended up, that pushed my boss to, they kind of do like friendly competitions. So they did like a male versus female advisor contest, and it was just like for X amount of dollars. And I ended up pushing my advisor so that the female side of the advisors ended up winning. So they were just impressed with the whole being comfortable on the phone, being able to talk to somebody or anybody, because in the financial advising you get to talk to people from all walks of life. Does anyone have any questions specifically?
I have a question, Claire. What do the commissions look like if you, and like how do you get a commission from them just setting up an appointment?
Yeah, so it's generally their appointments do cost a little bit of money, but if it's I've had a couple of my friends who just had regular questions. They're like, oh, what are you doing? What's your internship? And so she actually for free scheduled a couple appointments with my grandpa and then one of my friends, because they were just curious, and that obviously was for free, but it was just very general. So they'll talk to you in very general speaks, conversation, but if you're getting really in depth about your financial plan, they'll charge you for that. And then obviously they're actually 10% insurance and 90% investment, which I kind of like, because going into financial advising, a lot of these jobs like Northwestern Mutual and the ones he was mentioning are just you're selling insurance. It's more 90% selling insurance, 10% investments. And I wasn't necessarily super interested in that, so that's one of the perks about Securian. But then they're kind of breaking it down. It just depends on the policy. So if you're just doing an annuity through them, it's they make $200 off you. But then if you say you have a bit maybe a couple businesses and you're putting that on your portfolio, then you have employees under there, and then it's going to be more $2,500 or more to manage your account. So it just depends on the account, and then it's also a percentage if it's insurance. It just kind of depends.
Did you think it was fair? Did you frankly, did you like what you got compensated over the summer? That's the question.
I did not make a lot of money as an intern at all. No, I made $10 an hour. It wasn't I wasn't really there for the money. I was there for the experience and working with them. It was really nice. I ended up getting really close with an advisor, and she actually wants to partner with me. So as a new intern, I'm not going to have to cold call my family members and my friends, like Nick was mentioning. I will actually be partnering with her and using her network to kind of gain experience before, you know, I reach out to my family members. So that kind of makes me feel better, because I was always worried about that, like calling up my grandma with no experience, like, hey, do you want to invest in the company that I'm starting to work for? You know, like that didn't really sound like something that I, you know, super, I don't know, that would fly, you know. So it was kind of nice that I got to meet Tammy and partner with her. So I guess overall it was valuable still, regardless of the not too fantastic pay. And they also cap you at 20 hours a week for the internship. So you can't like work more. There's no like overtime or anything.
Awesome. Does anybody else have any more questions? Yeah.
Are we allowed to plug new writing positions opening up? New,
If you want to.
Contributors?
Yeah. Don't know too much about it.
Sure, I'll do it. Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead, Oscar. I apologize.
Yeah, Spartan, for those involved, you know, me, Vincent, Jake, we present our stories every week. The Spartan News team is expanding. We'll be opening up new slots. So be on the lookout for correspondence relating to that. If you want to talk about what that might look like, what the life of a news contributor looks like, holla at your boy. But yeah, other than that, that's about it.
Awesome. Yeah. So those have got 2 weeks. We'll send the applications out in 2 weeks, and yeah, we'll have more details on that. So sweet. If not, you guys, thank you so much. I'll hang out here if anybody wants one-on-one questions, but if not, thank you all so much for joining us tonight.